Mama, daddy, are you my mama? You my daddy? It's like the number one thing is we gotta talk about these tears. We gotta talk about these emotions. Because if we don't deal with the idea, understanding that we are lost, bruh, we'll never get found. We'll never get found. If you keep saying you found, then okay, cool.
What have you found, and what do you continuously find?
You're finding the same thing.
Yeah, you find the same thing.
Everyone's finding the same thing. Everyone's finding the same circle. The same circle of trauma with everyone who they meet. Yeah, some might be delayed. Some might be not as hurtful as others. But at the end of the day, it's still an addition to your trauma. Because the elephant in the room has not been spoken about yet. It is what's wrong with me and you. Why is it so hard for me and you to even sit in the same room and have not just disagreements, but just disconnections? It's not like disagreement, it's like disconnection.
Yeah, because when you disconnect, people think you permanently disconnected from them. But in reality, you're just taking your mental space.
Yeah.
In a healthy space, for real.
Yeah.
Because you need to separate. You need to be in your own realm or your own bubble just to see if you still got it.
Mm-hmm. Still got it. You should never lose it.
But you do lose it because people do take it away from you naturally. Because we're stealing so much energy from each other just because we're around each other. You know?
No, that's true. And one thing that I really want to talk about that I see that we're doing, we ain't dealing with the traumas. And then the biggest thing that's occurring with the trauma, like, for example, pimping and prostitution. What allows that system to continue to thrive the way it thrives is that prostitute stays in a position of trauma. And still understanding that the pimp is there to protect her, and the money is what gives them that bond for better days, right? But she gotta continue to be in that traumatic state.
I'll say this. Most people are starting to disconnect the sensuality from real sensuality in relationships. You get what I mean? Meaning, the selfie has become so sensualized, it's a sexual pose now. You not only, it's escaped the selfie and it's moved to the full body. You know?
And we can't,
so understand that so much sensuality goes into showing that you're a sensual person and actually not being a real sensual person in real life.
That is true.
I'm confused. What are you selling that you ain't selling to me? You're selling it to me at more expensive rate than you selling for free to Instagram.
It's like
Instagram got your beat.
Yeah, and it's like Instagram got it. No, and it's like when you see a picture someone puts up, it's like the ingredients list, and that's what you mean, like with the sensual. You taking sensual pictures, you're not a sensual person. You don't even know how to be sensual.
Yeah.
You've been in nothing but rough situations in your life to the point where it's so hard for you to even disconnect to that word or the idea of what it means.
So why would you even show your weakness like that? It's a glaring weakness.
Because it shows like learning in a sense. Learning, if you want something, just do the same thing. Hopefully you get it. But same way where you say sensual, like we could take a picture of our faces and have a sensual face. But it's even taken away from that to like sensual, slick, sexual, because people don't even want to show their hairlines no more. They show the eyebrows and the chest. Yeah. They gotta show the chest. They gotta show the cleavage and the eyebrows. Maybe sometimes they show the nose. You know what I mean? But it's just like you're hiding away in the picture. You could try to be sexy. Yeah, of course you're being sexy. Nothing wrong with that. But you're hiding your face in the picture. You know what I mean? You can't hide your face in the picture.
Yeah.
You can't.
They disconnect for lack of knowing that people can love the whole picture. You know what I mean? And I think everybody's so focused on the box and realize that we used to build murals and paintings of what love looks like.
Yeah.
So if you get off that small box and look at the big box outside yourself with your own eyes and it's visual and you can feel it, create some love, paint some stuff. Go create something beautiful that resembles the love that you're experiencing at that moment. Don't just display it on the box.
Yeah.
Because that's fake.
And you know, And there's nothing wrong with like showing skin, because we were all born naked, to be real with you. But I
Honestly,
think
that's the greatest state to be in.
it's the greatest state to be in. But if you have, if you're not mature and don't have those capabilities to understand that these states were actually states of freedom, these states was actually states to put you at your body at a meditative place, connected to energy frequencies and everything around you. And we view it from the sexual place that we view it as, it's going to continue to be polluted and poisoned. And that's what's been happening. There's nothing wrong with being sexy and showing your body, but it's a different thing when you're acting like showing your body is, they're using their body as a magnet. Best way to describe it. The body's a magnet. And that's not, and when you're using your body to bring people in as a magnet, it is poison. It's polluted. You know what I mean? It's not organic. It's not genuine. It's not.
Why would you say that? Now, why? You got to get to the why. Why would you say that? Because
the reason why I say that is because
the same can be said of somebody who expresses a good message on the internet, like Umar, and he knows he's pulling people in like a magnet, and he uses it for that too. So it's like it's the same thing. Men are doing the same thing with their secret powers too.
Men, and that's where I wanted to go to the pimp and prostitute conversation. But when I say they use it as a magnet, it's used in a pollutive way because you look at the comments. When you look at the comments.
No. It has nothing to do. They can't. Listen, they invoke comments, but they don't make the comments. Listen, sometimes I'll comment something out of pocket, and then it's only to incite a reaction of laughter. For real. So when you get to the dudes that be like, good and shit, yeah, it is magnetizing for them, but that's low frequency. You know what I mean?
Just not even
that's
like
a
the
low
comments
frequency,
the comments of them.
But that's
as
a
they
low
post
frequency response. You cannot help what what gravitates to you. You can't help that. You know?
No, but the thing is like, say for example, okay, you show your skin, right?
I show my skin too on Instagram.
Okay, you lure people. No, men and women, we do it the same way. I feel like men and women are exploiting each other to its greatest capacity. Men, we're exploiting each other. We're exploiting the women through their love of money and security, and women are exploiting men through their love of sex and physical connection. And that's the exploitation business that we're in right now. And I feel like that's where it comes into play. Women are at a place right now where they're showing their physical features in order to receive some kind of benefit.
Not everybody.
No, well, of course we can't throw everybody in the same category. No. Because, like, for example, I'm not assuming that you showing your cleavage and me.
No.
All I'm saying is,
but
like,
Joe, you got a way better body
no,
than me
but
right now. What the hell are you talking about?
Basically, what I'm saying is, of course, there's people who do it just off of them just being them. But there are other people doing it for.
I would say there's a lot of people out here suffering too, trying to find love and equally anywhere, any place they can go. You know what I mean? So you got to really think about a lot of people starting to build self-love after this pandemic because it took a lot of love from them. You know what I mean? So I really sit back and I just be like, there's nothing wrong with that person. They're just striving to receive a different type of love than they was already given. You know what I'm saying? For real.
And I guess if we could view it that way, I could see it that way, especially if it's coming from the place of trying to understand what self-love is.
Yeah.
But it's nothing wrong with being able to say, I don't know what love is. You know what I mean? And then when you see, and I think that's something that people aren't also displaying either. They're not saying
every version of love is different.
But if you don't know what love is, there is no version of love. You just searching for it in all types of directions, all types of ways, trying to find connection and attachment and love through different things, through different people, through different scenarios, through different moments. You know what I mean? I think this is the stage where I think a lot of people are at. For example, falling in love with money. people are falling in love with money because they feel like that is the best feeling they've ever had when it comes to emotional connection or ties to something that has some kind of gravity in this in this world.
It is so thick. That layer of energy that you're just talking about is so thick. There's so much of that. And when you can actually really get the real experience or the real in, so much is lost. You know what I mean? It's like if you're burning, like trying to set something on fire and generate so much heat to dry something out, it really has to be like super hot. So if you're building that and you get to that level of fire, that heat, it only lasts for so long.
That, you know, while you talking, it makes me think of Facebook. When I first got on Facebook, the picture that I always took the first time was never the picture that I posted.
Yeah, it started there.
Off of the strength of that alone, to me personally, I'm not even gonna speak for other people. I'm just gonna speak for myself because that's the best way I can describe things.
That's true.
From my own personal experience, and to understand that first picture that I took wasn't the picture I wanted to put up, even though it was a nice picture to me.
Yeah.
But
I
didn't think it was a nice picture for others to see me. And off of that alone, I kind of disconnected myself from social media. Of course, this was years of me being able to identify that this is what I was doing. Mm-hmm. But as I continue to pay attention to my behaviors, I've seen that it had nothing to do with pleasing myself or even pleasing people who I even knew and I loved, who I wanted to share information with. It had more to do with just everybody else and excluded myself. And it had more to do with a temporary benefit of people showing me, hey, you're whatever. You know what I mean? And off of that understanding, I understood that it's one thing when you live in this world and you have many different influences and you walk around this world and you say, hey, you have good people around you, people who you know that's influencing you, that's making you bad or negative, positive or negative influences. But you only have like, let's say 50 around you. When you open the portals of social media, now you have hundreds of millions of influences around you, positive and negative. And I think that's something, you can see trends on here. On social media, you see trends, even picture trends. I'm just being honest. You see challenges. They tell you the challenges.
Yeah, from the poses to the facial expressions. It's all monetized.
We can't act like we don't see that. We can't act like we don't see the same poses,
it is
same
monetized.
pictures, same outfits, same actions, same money counting, same, just same destinations, like same everything. We can't account like these are trends. I'm gonna call it a trend. I'll be an asshole too. But I'm gonna be the asshole to say it's a trend, and I'm gonna be the asshole to also say.
Would you say traveling is a trend too?
Of course, traveling is a trend. I think traveling is a huge trend.
I ain't too caught up in that shit either.
No, I think traveling is a huge trend, and especially like the state where we're going in right now, I think it's gonna be a bad trend because people are gonna have to sacrifice themselves physically in order to travel. Oh, and I'm not talking about getting on the Uber to get to the plane. I'm talking about you gonna physically put yourself through testing and experiment. But these are trends, and this is the reason why.
Yeah, even dropping the vaccine paper online is a trend now.
I voted. I'm a Georgia voter. I'm a Cali voter.
Do you think that's where it started?
The trends.
I mean that trend.
Oh, well, I definitely think when it comes to the VAC app, it came from I'm a voter. I voted. That's definitely I voted trend. You know what I mean? We've seen that before with the election. Like I voted today. I voted today. I voted today. Now it's gonna be I got the vaccine. I got the vaccine. And it's no shame to anyone who's taking the vaccine. It's more. Be aware that it is an experiment.
This is the Trauma Unit podcast, and we're closing out, and we're gonna bring it back to you one time.
Hey, one time. I ain't no asshole though.